Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings in my weekly radio show, Operation Freedom, is to provide you information the bought-off, lamestream, fake media will not present or will not touch. Our goal is to empower you. I'll empower you with information that the deep state wants hidden. Why? Well, the deep state's goal is to strip every American of your remaining freedoms and liberties. And this is what we're coming down to with the election on November 3rd. There have been some developments of late that I want to focus on today that the fake media, the bought-off lamestream fake media, doesn't want anyone to go near. Recently, I had the honor of having a good friend of mine on the Operation Freedom radio show. By the way, you can join us for the radio show every Sunday. It's free. Just go to davejanda.com every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. It's a live show. So it's a live show, live radio. You never know what's going to quite happen, but great guests, great analysis, and great information is always there for you. Go to davejanda.com, Sundays from 2 to 5 Eastern. Hit the listen button. It'll take you to Wham Talk 1600 streaming service. Hit the play button, and you're with us. I recently had General McInerney on. Now, what we're going to do today with this presentation, we're going to divide it into two. The first is going to be this introductory part, and the second is going to be the interview I did with General McInerney, who presented information and reinforced information as it relates to the illegal surveillance platform that was instituted and implemented by Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Mueller, just to name a few. It illegally spied. They used it for their own political gain and financial gain. That's a different issue. But they targeted their political opponents, in particular President Trump, or then Citizen Trump, then President-elect Trump, General Flynn, and millions of other Americans. As we have pointed out, and General McInerney points out in the interview you're going to see in the second part, a good friend of his, Admiral Ace Lyons, who was also a regular on our Operation Freedom platform, Admiral Lyons died in December of 2018. But General McInerney, with the support of Admiral Lyons on March 19, 2017, came on Operation Freedom, the live show, and blew open the whole issue of the illegal surveillance platform called the Hammer. Yes, there was illegal surveillance going on through the NSA system, but that's a tip of the iceberg. And you see, in the NSA system, they had a log system so that even if they didn't fill out the appropriate forms, the log system was built in the NSA system where someone would get caught if they were illegally surveilling somebody. Bill Benny and Kirk Wiebe, the two foremost experts in surveillance platforms who are friends of ours and also on this platform, and at the very top of this YouTube channel is one of the interviews I've done with Bill and Kirk discussing this. They built that NSA system. They helped build it. And they helped put that log system in there. So the criminals in our government, knowing that, thought, we need to get our own private system where there aren't going to be any footprints left, where no one knows who we're looking at or what we're looking at. And that's when they commandeered a platform that was initially used legally to look at terrorists internationally, but then was commandeered by Obama, Brennan, and Clapper in particular, with the help of Comey and Mueller, and turned on American citizens, their political opponents, if you will. This is an illegal act, criminal act. And this is exposed through the great investigative journalists Mary Fanning and Alan Jones back in March of 2017, and then reinforced when General McInerney and Admiral Lyons came on the show and spoke about this. This information has been provided to a number of people within our own government. But we're getting close to the election. We just had Labor Day. It's usually the kickoff to the political season, if you will, to the big part of the game. And many whistleblowers are very concerned that the game is not moving fast enough, that Barr and Durham are doing their jobs, but it's just not moving fast enough. And the whistleblowers are concerned that this same system that was used by Obama and Brennan and Clapper to target their political opponents, well, they're primary concern right now is that that system can be used to control the 2020 election and not in the favor of President Trump. So these whistleblowers have gotten together and they decided to start releasing information. And that is the website I'm about to talk to you about that General McInerney also spoke about. The website is called blixware.org, BLXWARE.org. Now, some people say, oh, that's a clickbait site. How can you have clickbait if there's no advertising on it? Tell me. These patriots set this up because they're concerned that this information isn't going to get to the public by the time an election happens. And they believe that by outing this information, they can undermine the totalitarians' use of this system to adversely affect the election. At the very top of the site, there's a couple things you should notice. One, look in the upper left-hand corner when you get to the site. You're going to see two hammers crossed. Now, why hammers? Well, as I've mentioned and told you for the past 3.5 years, this illegal surveillance system utilized by Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Mueller was called the hammer. And remember, these whistleblowers are under immunity agreements. So they have to be very careful about how much information they parse out and what they say. Because if they violate their immunity agreements, well, it could be jail time. So one is, notice what's in the upper left-hand corner when you go to that site. 2, as you scroll down the page, you're going to see some blue writing. If you hit that blue writing, it will give you a listing of the particular entity, the category you're looking at, whether it's corporations that were illegally surveilled. If you hit that blue writing, you'll see them. If it's people in the government, you hit that, you'll see that. If you see churches, hit that, you'll see what churches were monitored. Yeah, churches. We're going to get into that in a minute. And here's what's said on the bottom of the site. Quote, funny thing about data, just when you thought it was destroyed, it appears. End quote. That was a direct message, I believe, to Obama, Brennan, Clapper, Comey, and Mueller. They've done everything in their power to cover this up, as have their surrogates. What's stated at the top of the webpage is the following. This site is created and maintained by former Blixware employees that wanted the truth about Blyware owner Edra Blixith, her U.S. government contracts, and Blixware's work in illegal FBI, CIA, NSA domestic surveillance programs to be exposed to the public. Then on the website, there are a series of questions that are asked and then answered. Why was FBI, CIA, NSA running a domestic surveillance program far off the grid and far away from congressional oversight in the United States, targeting Americans and their businesses without probable cause? The FBI, CIA, NSA domestic surveillance statistics collected in their parallel private domestic surveillance program, they give data. Number of Americans hacked and spied on by the United States government, 38,451,112. Number of U.S. businesses hacked and spied on by the United States government by these people, 6,882,119. Number of attorneys and law firms hacked and spied on by the United States government through this system, 93,856. Number of Article 3 federal judges hacked and spied on by the United States government, 159. Gives reason about maybe why John Judas Roberts has such aberrant decisions and why Judge Edmund Sullivan is holding up the rightful dismissal of charges against General Flynn. Another statement made by the whistleblowers. The FBI, CIA, NSA domestic surveillance statistics collected in their parallel private domestic surveillance program included 1,045 reporters hacked and spied on by the United States government. 4,011 number of cable news employees hacked and spied on by the United States government. 5,421 number of web administrators inserted into computer networks without the permission of knowledge of the business. 1,013 number of U.S. congressmen hacked and spied on by the system in the United States government. 107,322 number of U.S. churches hacked and spied on by the system by the United States government. 1,342 number of Secretary of State computer networks hacked and spied on by the United States government. Wow. Secretary of States run the elections in every state, right? 2,432,011 number of votes tampered with or in prior U.S. elections by United States government bad actors by this system. What are the whistleblowers telling you just with that piece of data alone? That elections have been altered in the past by use of this system. 6,322 number of U.S. government servers hacked and spied on by the United States government. See, folks, this is absolutely critical, not just to the election in November 3rd, 2020, but for the future of our country. Mary Fanning and Alan Jones recently published an article on about this website. Explosive new website names alleged U.S. domestic surveillance targets. Mueller, Brennan, Clapper, architects of vast criminal operation. Where are Barr and Durham? Here's how it starts off. A newly emerged website describing itself as created and maintained by former Blixware employees describes a vast illegal U.S. domestic surveillance operation that targeted approximately 40 million Americans, 7 million U.S. businesses, 100,000 American lawyers, and 159 federal judges. CIA contractor turned whistleblower Dennis Montgomery stated in the past that through Blixware, they spied on America for the Obama administration under the direction of John Brennan and James Clapper. The website names former FBI Director Robert Mueller, former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper as the architects of the criminal operation. But the key statement, I believe, in this article, and it's short, and I'll try to get our IT people to have it posted for you. The Blixware website states that, quote, those that control this FBI, CIA, NSA private domestic surveillance system will control the 2020 election, end quote. This is really critical and very important for you to know and for you to pass on to all your friends and family. The second part of our presentation today is the interview I did on the radio with General Tom McInerney. I hope that you'll hit that interview, and I'll hope that you'll go to the website and take a look at it and the information presented. It's my understanding that as time progresses here, as the days and hours progress, more and more information is going to be loaded on that website. But remember, if you hit the blue writing, if you put your cursor over it and hit it, you will get lists in each category of who was targeted. It's frankly sickening. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll stick for the second part of this presentation. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail.